In a tiny town in Kansas, nestled between fields and farmhouses, there lived a woman named Mara Albrecht, the longtime organist at the town's only church. Each Sunday morning, she filled the sanctuary with soaring tones that gave voice to prayers too deep for words. Her music was the town's heartbeat. For many years, Mara and her husband Peter had hoped for a child, but she was barren. Just when they had given up hope, life stirred in Mara's womb. Mara, her husband and family rejoiced. She played her most joyful service the Sunday after she announced her pregnancy. The months passed and she bore a son. But something strange happened on the day her son was born. The labour had been long and difficult, and when the child let out his first cry, Mara opened her mouth to sing, and found no sound, not a whisper, not a hum. Her voice was gone. The doctors found no cause. Her vocal cords were uninjured, her lungs healthy. But when she tried to speak, all that came was silence. Panic set in. But then, the still, small voice within brought comfort to Mara. Although unable to speak, she began to listen more, to feel more, to notice the shape of sound in her surroundings. The rustling leaves, the distant bells, the breath of her infant child. She returned to the organ bench after a few weeks, unable to speak, but playing with a depth, a passion that stirred the soul of even the sternest parishioners. Every note she played seemed to speak the words she could no longer say. The town waited for the naming day. 40 days after the child's birth, as tradition held. Friends and family gathered in the sanctuary, where Mara had played for decades. The priest stood at the font. "What is the child's name?" Peter looked to Mara. She stepped forward, carrying the infant in her arms. She had not uttered a word in 40 days. But now, with the child cradled against her chest, she opened her mouth. "His name is Gabriel, and he will be a trumpeter. He will call us to wake, to weep, to rejoice. As I have spoken through keys and pedals, he will speak through breath and brass." A hush fell over the room as if heaven itself was listening. From that day on, Mara's voice remained, and the boy, Gabriel, grew into the sound of his name, blowing not for applause, but for awakening.